Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am doing the 54321 tarot tag by Kelly Bear. This is sort of a video response to the original tag, but also a video response to Meg from Rose Honey Ritual, who was so kind to tag me and let me know of this awesome tag. So basically what this tag is about is quite simple and fun, and I enjoy that type of stuff lately. I've been too exhausted for anything else. But I'm gonna share 5 tarot decks, 4 tarot books, 3 spreads, 2 tarot habits / paraphernalia, and 1 piece of advice or a card I wish to embody and why. That's basically the rules of the tag. I'm gonna write them down below in the description box if you want to check them out, as well as I'm gonna link Kelly Bear's video as well as Meg's video. But if you search by the tag, there are plenty of videos out there already, and they're all really great, and I'm looking forward to watching as many as I can. So let's get to the tag. So 5 tarot decks. Since it's like the 1st of October today, I am gonna be sharing 5 Halloween decks. Specifically Halloween decks, because I do have like all sorts of spooky decks, like spirit decks, like, you know, that type of vibe. But I wanted to just share 5 like specifically Halloween themed, at least for me, decks. And I'm already breaking the rules here because I couldn't decide, and I'm sharing 6 decks instead. So I'm sorry, Kelly Bear, I can't get away from my Aquarian rebel nature. So the first deck I'm gonna share is I think, yeah, this is the latest deck that I got, and it's the Trick or Treat Tarot by Barbara Moore, illustrated by Jonathan Hunt. And it's like a cheeky, of course, Halloween deck, very much Rider-Waite-Smith based. You get like a chunky guidebook, full color, and you know, if you're a spooky baby, then you will recognize some of the, you know, some of the cards, like the 3 of Cups. You're gonna recognize that these are the witches from the Hocus Pocus movie, even though it's not mentioned anywhere. But basically in this deck, everybody is dressed up in, you know, Halloween costumes. So some of them you might recognize from certain movies or stories or whatever. And I think it's a really cool concept. It's very Halloween-y, very cute as well, and yeah, I love it. I haven't worked with it a lot yet. I'm just gonna show you a couple of the cards. I'm not gonna flip through all of them, but if you want to, I can do a flip through video. So these are the backs, like, you know, how much more Halloween-y can you get? Yeah, the Headless Horseman, and some of them are like super cute, some of them are actually kind of creepy, but you know, all the wonderful Halloween vibes. Yeah, you might even get some like ideas for Halloween costumes from this deck. The only thing that I'm a little bit bothered about is, if you can see, yeah, you can tell, you know, by at the edges, that this deck, yeah, this deck is gonna get like worn down quite fast, I think. And I haven't even worked with this deck a lot. So that's the only crappy thing. Although, you know, if you're holding one card by itself, you can't really tell. But yeah. Anyways, this is not a review of the deck, but I feel like it's a very clever deck in terms of, you know, how it's made and what it's supposed to be about. But yeah, I really love this deck. Anyways, let's move on. Yeah. So this is the Trick or Treat tarot. I need to make a bag for it. Definitely in orange and purple colors. But yeah, I really don't like these boxes, although they do accommodate the deck as well as the guidebook. They just take up too much space on my bookshelves. So yeah, that was the Trick or Treat tarot. I guess I'm going by size. Next we have the Halloween Oracle, and this is, you know, this is an oldie by now. I mean, all about Halloween, basically. This deck is very simple in a way. You get like a thin guidebook, although it's not the greatest of guidebooks, to be honest. But the deck itself, I think is well made. I really like the artwork. Wait, who is the artist? Why are they not putting the artist on the box? Are there many different ones? Let's see. Card artwork by Jimmy Manton. Okay, yeah. I thought it was Jimmy Manton, but I wasn't 100% sure. So, these are the bags. Very classic Halloween deck bags. And the cards in this deck are all in the theme. A very like warm toned autumn vibes. I love it. And the cards themselves, even though the guidebook kind of sucks, let's be honest, the imagery is wonderful, and you get, you know, the name of the card and some, like, it's not a sentence, but like some keywords, I guess. And it's easy to work, you know, intuitively with the deck. So this deck has been in my collection for a very long time now. It has like, it doesn't really have like spooky vibes, I would say, but definitely, you know, Halloween themed, of course. Samhain themed, I guess. There's quite some skulls. It's kind of bordering onto winter as well, which is also kind of cool because, you know, if you work with your decks seasonally, this is easily a deck that you can use, you know, the whole month of November, maybe even into December. Depends on like how you view the seasons and what it's like wherever you're living. But yeah, I feel like this deck, you know, it can easily work with any other deck, especially if you have like Halloween decks, like a tarot deck. For example, the Trick or Treat that I've showed before. This, you know, it's very easy to add cards from this deck to any other deck to kind of complete the reading that you're doing. So This is the Halloween Oracle. Put it away. Then we have the Horror Tarot. And this is one of the newer decks in my collection, although I've had it for probably a year now, something like that. When did this come out? I got it fairly, you know, quick once it came out, but you know, and yeah, this deck is super spooky. It's by Sasha Graham, if I'm not mistaken. Why doesn't it say on the guide, on the box, for frick's sake? Yeah, whatever. No, it's not by Sasha Graham. Why did I think it was by her? Whatever. Illustrated by Abigail Larson and Minerva Siegel and Aria Gmitter. I hope I pronounced that right. So you can look it up if you want to. The box is everything I'm looking for in a box, regards to the size and, you know, everything. So this is the bags. I'm probably gonna be edging this in red just because, you know, it fits either in red or in black. I'm not sure yet what I want because there are also red borders on the deck itself. The titles are written in this, fuck, can you see this? In this kind of red gilding, I guess. I don't know what to call it, which looks kind of cool, but it's sometimes difficult to read. But the cards themselves are pretty much Rider-Waite-Smith based, although some of them I would say are their own thing in a way. But I really love, yeah, this gives me alien vibes. I love kind of mixed with Cthulhu, or yeah, I'm not gonna go into my nerdiness, but with this deck, just like with the Trick or Treat Tarot, you can kind of make your own connections to different stories, movies, whatever. But it's also its own thing, which is really cool. And I think you can quite easily read this deck intuitively as well. I'm not sure now. I don't think this deck is super pippish. I haven't worked with it for a while, so I'm showing you these decks because I'm putting them all in my October basket. Yeah, definitely not pippish. Okay, Tamara. I freaking love this star card. This is, yeah, one of my favorite star cards, because in the star card is always, for me at least, it's always about guidance, about faith, about hope. And with this Ouija board and this setup, to me it gives like support from your ancestors type of vibe, connecting with the spirit world, with the spirit helpers, with your guides, like actively connecting with whatever your spiritual guidance is. And yeah, I love it. I love it. Because it's not, you know, sometimes with the star card, I feel like it can be very passive looking, like, you know, you just have to, you know, hope for the best or whatever, and like put your faith into the universe. But here it's like, you know, if you're a witch, you get it. Like you're getting actual answers and seeking actual answers in the first place. So love this. The Chariot, very spooky. So some of them will be kind of pippish, but I don't know, it doesn't bother me. I know the system well enough, you know, with Rider-Waite-Smith. So I kind of connect what I know to be the traditional meaning of the card with whatever I'm seeing. Maybe it wouldn't be a good deck for beginners, I guess, but yeah, I love this deck. All the reds and blacks is just perfect Halloween deck, right? At least for me. All the spookiness and everything. But yeah. There's one card that I wanted to show you guys that I really love. And no, it's not the bent neck lady. Although I love the bent neck lady as well. Creeps Joanna out. Totally. Yeah, I think it's not this one, but it's similar. It's like a haunted house. Oh, this is like Baba Yaga. But it's like a haunted house in the middle of the woods, and you can kind of see some sort of like shadows and figures walking around inside. Yeah, here it is, this one. I really like this one. And this is the Hermit, and I love this Hermit. Right? It's like spooky house in the middle of the woods and like some random shadow within. I would love to live here, honestly. Some little spirits. Yeah, love it. Now I have to look for the bent neck lady. And this to me is always gonna be like N'Zoth. If anyone played or plays World of Warcraft knows. But yeah, this is my nerdiness coming through. Sorry, not sorry, I guess. Where's the bent neck lady? For frick's sake. Is she like on the other side? I haven't passed her, have I? You know, you don't just pass the bent neck lady. Where are you, girl? Oh, here you are. So if you watched, was it the Bly Manor? Like Haunting of Bly Manor or Haunting of Hill House? Like one of those. Yeah. I think it was the Hill House one. But yeah, the bent neck lady. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. I'll have a whole month to play with these decks. So, and I might make another video where I actually show all of my October decks, because I have a lot of spooky decks and kind of spirit oriented decks and stuff like that. So, you know, more than this. This is the Tricks and Treats Oracle by Barb St. John. And this is sadly out of print. I think she had a shop on, she had an Etsy shop where I was able to snatch it, and these are the backs. And I love this deck. This is like a cute vintage Halloween vibe deck. That's just wonderful to add to any of your like tarot readings and stuff like that. I don't know, it just gives me such cozy Halloween October vibes. I don't know, I love it. I love it. It like it pleases my adult self as well as my inner child. It like pleases all of my witchy needs as well as my, you know, kind of like storytelling inner child needs. But you can definitely, you know, this deck, I don't feel like it's like a very gentle deck necessary. I think it can be very spooky for sure, in terms of what type of readings you can get out of it, at least in my experience. As well as, you know, it can totally be used for spirit communication, stuff like that. So I'm thinking I might even put this deck on my ancestral altar, for getting some, you know, any messages from them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be a cool deck to use for that. So yes, this is the Tricks and Treats Oracle. Yes. Moving on. Haunted House, Tarot of Haunted House by Sasha Graham. This is by Sasha Graham, of course. And Mirko Pierfederici. I hope I pronounced that right. Mirko Pierfederici, I would say. And this is one of the coolest, you know, Halloween time decks. Get the typical white little guidebook. And it's not like the shitty guidebook necessarily. Because the way this deck is made is basically that, you know, as you're reading the deck, you're basically doing shadow work and exploring your own psyche as if it was the haunted house. And she like Sasha Graham did this through the lens of like these old school like novels of, you know, these damsels in distress that find themselves in these spooky environments and try to survive and whatnot. So yes, it might be cheesy to some of you, but I freaking love this. And yeah, so even the artwork is done in the style that's kind of follows you know, the book covers of those type of books. Not necessarily portraying specific books, but I'm sure if you read some of those books, you might even like draw some parallels. I haven't, so I don't know. I know that Sasha Graham put some videos on her channel, and she might still be putting them up. I have to check it out. But she does, you know, talk about this deck and about meaning behind some of these things. So if you're interested in this deck, you should definitely go check it out. So for example, this is the World card, and this is like the end of this story where this main character basically kind of is victorious at the end, surviving the haunted house and kind of making acquaintances of all the people who live in there, all the spirits who live in there, creatures, whatever. She faces all of her fears and whatnot, and she finds the key to this haunted house, to this haunted manor, and she's in control of, you know. So you kind of get it, like how it kind of plays with the idea of exploring your own psyche through that lens of exploring the haunted house. Yeah, some of the cards, like this card, kind of reminds me of the Tarot of Vampires. But yeah, it's a cheeky deck. I like it. It's a moody deck. I am definitely looking forward to playing with it. Exorcist kind of vibes. This is giving me Indiana Jones for some reason. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna, yeah, it's enough. So this is the Haunted House Tarot, or Tarot of the Haunted House. Ah, come on. Okie dokie. So I have one more deck, and then we're moving on. This was 5 decks, and this is a deck that everybody knows, everybody loves, the Halloween Tarot. It's no surprise. I have the version in the tin. I'm not sure if this is the mini version or whatever, but this is the you know, the Halloween Tarot Classic, I would say. These are the backs, and I'm sure all of you have seen this deck for a million times now. But this is one of those cute decks with very cliche Halloween kind of artwork. I really enjoyed this style. Monster's Bride. Yeah, so if you are a Halloween lover and you read tarot, this is like, what are you even doing in your life if you don't have this deck already, right? Like, and I'm not trying to push anyone into purchasing more decks, but, you know, just trying to prove a point. So, yeah, very cute, very kind of cartoony, yeah, I love this deck. I think this works very well with the Tricks and the Treats Oracle, because, you know, this is also kind of vintage looking as well in terms of style, but yeah, I like it a lot. And I also really love the fact that I have it in the tin, because it's easy to take it with me, and it's like a typical Rider-Waite-Smith style system even, and yeah, it's easily, you know, doing the job of my workhorse deck. So let's move on to 4 tarot books. Let me move this out of the way. So I am not sharing any books that are like explaining the tarot per se, or yeah, like explaining the tarot, explaining the meanings of the cards and stuff like that. I'm not sharing any of those type of books, just because I feel like there's a lot of that out there. And also, to be completely honest, I don't think I've read even one of those books, like from start to finish. Yeah, so that's that. The first book I'm gonna share is the 36 Secrets, Decanic Journey Through the Minor Arcana of the Tarot. So this is only about the minor arcana, and if you Google like Decanic Journey, tarot, whatever, it will explain what this is about. I've got this, you can pause the video and like read the back if you want to. So I got this book to help me explore astrology as well as tarot on a different kind of level. I kind of fell off the wagon with it, but it's really easy to dip in and out with this, I feel like. Some of the things in here are very poignant, or were very poignant for me, and some just didn't resonate at all, but I don't stress about that shit anymore. I just, you know, will write down whatever I find meaningful for me, and kind of how it relates to whatever happens to me in that time, because basically what this book does, or what this journey does, is it kind of follows the Decan journey through astrology. So every zodiac sign is how do I put this in words? So there's like 10 degrees in the whole like chart wheel for every zodiac sign, and every zodiac sign has specific tarot cards that are connected to it. And basically what I would do, I would just do what everyone else is doing as well in this, and basically linking the meanings of these cards to this time period of the Decan, and kind of linking whatever I read about the card, or whatever I read in this book, with whatever my own thoughts are, my experiences, as well as what happens to me in this time period. So that's basically what I do with it. And as I said, I fell off the wagon with it, but it's that kind of a book that you can just kind of start whenever you want. In my opinion, I'm sure there's gonna be people that are gonna be offended by this, but that's just my view. And sometimes things are gonna be pointed and relevant, and sometimes they won't be, and that's just life. Okay, so that's the 36 secrets. Let me have a sip of my coffee. And let's move on. So, no, I'm gonna start with this first. This is the Tarot Playbook by Linda Cowles. And this book is, it is what it is. It's a playbook. So if you're looking for something that is gonna deepen your intellectual knowledge of tarot, this is not the book for you, okay? But if you're looking to actually play with your deck and have just have fun with it, and of course explore it in a meaningful way, in the sense that you will gain knowledge, but it won't be like, you know, the knowledge of the system or of the history of tarot, whatever. It's gonna be knowledge that comes from your experience with the deck, which is, you know, precious by itself. So if you want to explore tarot in that manner, this book is for you. So this book is the one where the Tarot Whodunit exercise is from. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to find it now. But yeah, if you watch that video where I do the Tarot Whodunit, oh, here it is. If you watch the video where I do the Tarot Whodunit, you know that it's all about having fun, enjoying the cards, and like just, yeah, having fun with it. What I also like with this book is that I don't have to, because I get easily overwhelmed, and what I like is I don't have to like go through the whole book and pick an exercise and, you know, whatever, unless I want to, of course. But it's made so that you can take your deck, shuffle, pull a card, and then find the exercise that kind of belongs to that card, because all of these exercises have a tarot card like kind of connected to it, and you can do that. So yeah, it's playful from the beginning. I just want to see, yeah, there's one exercise that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and now I'm not sure what it is. Shit. But basically, there's one exercise that I really want to do, and I'm gonna have to find that if I remember correctly, it's you take your deck of cards, whichever deck you're, you know, wanting to explore, and you basically take like a big sheet of paper, and I'm not sure if you use just the majors or whatever, but you can do whatever you want. It's your, you know, you do you, okay? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it now, but you kind of make a map, I think, of this imaginary city, or you can make like you can draw like a big mansion or a house with each room being one card, or, you know, you can make a map where each little building or corner or even streets and whatever can be representations of every card of the deck, or just the majors, or you can do it by different suits or whatever. But you know, it's that type of stuff. I love it. I love it. Okay, moving on. I have two books by Drea Bloom. if you're confused because of the author, I just want to clarify that she is a trans woman, and the books were written before her transition. So I'm not sure what name you will find these books by now, but you can just look by the titles. Okay, so the first one I want to show is the Tarot Activity book, and this one is kind of similar to the Playbook, but it kind of goes in a different direction. It's more intellectual, it's not as playful, but it has really cool exercises in this, and you do explore the cards, but not as much in a like a playful type of way necessary. It's still playful, but it's not it's more serious is what I'm trying to say, I guess. But yeah, there are different exercises, like there are really short exercises, there are more in-depth exercises, and I think it's one of the awesomer, like greater books for actually exploring a deck. So next one is Journaling the Tarot, a little book of big questions, and I do believe that there is like a thicker book that's like Journaling the Tarot or something like that, where you get even more, but I wanted this thin one because I wanted just you know just the main thing, no extra sparkles. But basically what this book is just, it is what it says. It is a little book of big questions. So it's, if you don't know what to do with your deck but you want to play with it, you pull a card, you find that card in this book. For example, you pull the Empress, you find the Empress, and for every card you get different questions. So you can play with this however you want. You can just pull a card and then journal about the card and use one of these questions to kind of explore the card further in. You can even, go crazy and do answer all the questions for that card. You can go in order, if you're a beginner and kind of exploring tarot for the first time, even though that would be totally overwhelming for me. You can also, for example, you pull the Empress, and then for the next card, instead of using a spread or going intuitively, you just choose a question, and for example, what is coming to an end for you, and then you pull the end card, the next card, as an answer to this question, and then you find that card in the book as well, and then you can continue that process if you want. As I'm trying to eliminate kind of making decisions as much as possible, because yeah, I get stuck and overwhelmed very quickly. I use a D20 dice because I'm a nerd, and yeah, this is actually from my Magic the Gathering deck, whatever. And I'm using the D20 because most of the cards have like around 20 questions. So I pull a card and I just throw the dice, and whatever, I got 11, and I just count the dots, and I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I just look at this question: how can you best nurture yourself? And then I will journal about this question, or I might pull more cards or whatever. But yeah, that's what I like to do, and I usually keep a D20 in my like pencil case wherever I go for this reason. So let's move on. This video is getting so freaking long already. Okay, so the next one is 3 spreads, and actually I really suck with spreads So I am going to share another book, another deck, and a spread. So what I got for myself is this. So 365 Tarot Spreads by Sasha Graham. And this book has a spread for every day of the year. And if you want, you can just go through this book day by day. Sometimes I do that, like if I don't know what to do with my cards and I want to play with them, I just go up to that date and I just do the spread. If it doesn't resonate, I say fuck it and I do something else, but you know. But I find these spreads to be really good spreads actually. And also what I really like, where is that? Is it at the end? Yeah. What I really like as well is that at the end you have this index of spreads where they're kind of divided by themes, I guess. So you have animals, cinema, creativity, fairy tales, finance and legal matters, general advice, yeah, there's a lot of general advice, goddess and god, grief, sadness and moving forward, health and well-being, holidays, home and family, literary spreads, love and romance, mythical creatures, nature, occult and esoteric, out of this world, self-knowledge and personal growth, sensual, spiritual, tarot, work and career. Yeah, so you have like all of those categories and they're really fun and you don't have to come up with your own and think about it too much or whatever if you're lazy like me. So this. Another thing I use and I think is really freaking awesome is the spread machine cards. I think this is called the Spread Crafters Oracle or something like that right now, but the first edition was called Spread Machine, so whatever. And basically what this deck is, I think you can also use it for actually like just pulling cards if you want to. But you have like different themes, different type of categories, I guess, of cards in here. And basically what you can do, you can like focus on a specific category. These are the expansion packs or whatever, like the additional ones. And what you do is you can use it however you want, like either focus on one specific topic, category, whatever, or you can just shuffle it and pull a couple of cards and use that as your spread. So I would just use this, play with it, see what comes up, and then take a tarot or oracle deck and pull cards on top of these. And yeah, you see how it kind of all comes together. I don't want to be too long on this because yeah, this has been too long of a video. So this is kind of like the basic deck, and then you have the quest and the change additional decks as well. Now to the actual spread that I wanted to share is, it's actually a spread from the Oracle of Shadows and Light. I've had this deck for such a long time, and there's a spread in this guidebook that I absolutely love, and I have it, yeah, you can tell how long this has been in there, because I use this all the time and I love it. And it's the To Solve a Problem spread. It uses 5 cards, and basically the first card is like the nature of the problem, because sometimes, you know, we think it's one thing but it's actually something else. The second card, it basically tells you why this is happening. The third card shows you what will happen if you don't change anything, so if you just keep going as you're going right now. The fourth card tells you what you should change from within, so in terms of your mindset or whatever. And the fifth card is the change that you need to do outside of yourself, so like a practical thing to do to help you resolve this problem. So yeah, that's the Solve a Problem spread by Lucy Cavendish from the Oracle of Shadows and Light guidebook. So that's it, and moving on to tarot habits or paraphernalia. So that's gonna be quite easy for me. So what my tarot paraphernalia is, honestly, I will say any type of incense, or yeah, just any type of incense. Either I have sage or something to kind of cleanse the area, as well as to put me in this in the mindset. I have some going right now, like just stick incense, that works too, just fine. And it's easy to take with me. That and a candle. I like to have a candle going just to, again, kind of set the space, help me focus. When I light the candle with intention of doing a reading, it puts me into that mindset, it helps me focus, it helps me connect with either my guides or with the person that I'm reading for, as well as their guides, and so on. So that's gonna be my paraphernalia. And the last one, piece of advice. One and only piece of advice that comes to my mind is don't be rigid in your readings. Don't get stuck on the meanings of cards, and trust your gut. Often I've experienced, like, I was reading for somebody and the cards would be saying one thing, but my intuition would be saying something completely different, and not necessarily in a way where I would be rejecting the meaning of the cards or not wanting to see what the cards are saying. I'm not talking about that, but I would be reading for somebody and I would get really specific information, you know, kind of in my mind through intuition, whatever you want to call it, mediumship, clairvoyancy, whatever. And tarot would be more like a trigger for that to happen. And if I actually trusted my intuition, I would be spot on. So that's my piece of advice. Trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling, and yeah, don't allow yourself to get stuck on traditional meanings and to get rigid in your readings. And yeah, just have fun with your deck, okay? Enjoy it. Enjoy the process. So yeah, that's it. This video is way too long, but yeah, this was the 54321 tarot tag by Kelly Bear, and yeah, this has been my input, I guess. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments. Do more VRs. I want to see all of the awesome tarot stuff. Okay, that's it. Have a wonderful evening or day, whatever it is for you. Bye!